What's good, you guys? Today we're talking about a shoe that I mentioned in a previous video that I said I was pretty eager to get my hands on. I was able to do so, so today we're going to be reviewing that. And if you notice a little change up in the aesthetics around here, I'm not trying to front. No, I did not buy a bunch of more shoes, but I did get some more display cases because I plan on making more YouTube videos. I'm taking this seriously and I need somewhere to put all of these shoes. But anyways, let's get into the review. Today we're talking about the Asics UB10-S Gel Kayano 20. Alright, before we even get into the shoes, one thing I want to throw out there for a plug for you guys is if you go to Dover Street Market NY, they got a crazy sale going on. It's up to 70% off, and they have this, the blue colorway and the red colorway, going for like 80 bucks. I was kind of salty because I already paid 170 for these elsewhere, but I'm passing the savings on to you guys. I did cherry pick a couple other dope ones. I'll throw those up here too, but check them out. They got really crazy steals going on right now. I don't know how long these sizes are gonna last, but right now they have damn near full size running all three colorways of this. So don't sleep, check that out. But getting into this pair specifically, there's a lot of stuff on here that was really dope. Some of it I wasn't even expecting in hand, and just like a mixture of different materials. I'll start off with the stuff that really stood out right away, and then there is a little bit of stuff that I was kind of dissatisfied with, and I'll get to that later on. But first thing right out the gate is this toe cap. I don't even know, I'm gonna put up some b-roll, but I did not expect that like swirly, marbling, whatever you want to call that on there. That is so sick, and that even is up by the eye stay at the top as well. I've not seen that. I don't know if you guys have before, but that looks sick. And then the mesh on the toe box is like super rugged, almost like something you would get on like a military boot. When your foot's inside, it's not causing any discomfort or anything like that, but it's just a crazy style mesh that I haven't seen on a Y2K runner like this, and it really beefs this shoe up. You get the same mesh up the tongue as well, but the big thing for me on the lacing system that stood out right away is the style of laces that they put on here. It's this really meaty, squared off like trail lace, and it droops really well. Kind of reminded me of the Action Bronson 990 V6 kind of Timberland lace, but this is like even more massive. The tongue pull tab is that classic Kiko offset asymmetrical vibe, and then you get the green A6A on there. The next standout for me was the sock liner. It's got a really nice texture and patterning to it in this like satin material that's super plush. It definitely elevates the entire sock liner. I haven't actually seen this exact patterning ever. So far there's obviously a lot of pluses already, but the other thing that just jumped out to me in hand is this like blood red you get on the heel counter and in these gel pods. Like in pictures it almost might have looked brown, but in hand it's just super bloody, and I really like that contrast with the green. On the lateral and medial sides you get what they're calling, I guess, moss green, but with this satin material they use for that, it just really pops against all the other materials. And then the overlays in this army tan are Asics' trademark fluid fit cage, which is supposed to have like a glove-like fit to your foot, and that little bit of almost gray carbon fiber underlayment on the heel around that blood red is a nice touch. And this midsole is basically a triple stack. You get that army tan, you get the forest green, and then the black on the outsole. These come with a pretty decent insole as well. You get that bloody maroon to match the heel counter and the gel pods, and then you get that stitched in Asics logo. The semi-translucent, almost sage green midfoot shank. And then the outsole comes in black with a really nice wide base, and then you get more hits of that forest green. And as far as the box, there's not too much to talk about. It just comes in your standard cardboard brown Asics box, but then on the top you get a metallicized strip with this argyle pattern. So these are called the UB10-S, and all of Kiko's shoes have like the UB, you know, before it, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's all part of his continuing series. I wasn't exactly able to find out what the UB means definitively, but the best information I was able to find is that it stands for unbalanced. The shoe originally came out in 2013, and it's said that the design inspiration was buildings and cars, which kind of translates to these and how technical they look. The midsole has another trademark material, which is their Trustic guidance system, but the one thing I will say in the somewhat negative category is these have that design defect, in my opinion, in the toe box, where the panels meet right here where the crest of your big toe is going to be. Once I put these in, immediately there was some resistance there and it was pushing back. I had to loose lace these like a bunch to kind of like mitigate that. I tried to put the move insoles in, that ain't happening. You don't really need them because these are pretty comfortable, but if you're trying to avoid where these panels on the inner side of the foot meet against the crest of your big toe knuckle, you might want to half size up. I wasn't able to do that because I'm a size 12 and they kind of just jump right to 13. There is no 12 and a half. So if you're on the lower end of sizing and you can do a half size up, I would recommend that if you have wide feet, because that glove fit that they talk about with the fluid fit cage is accurate. These really are up on you, so if you don't like that, half sizing would probably be my recommendation. The only other negative I would give to the shoe, I guess, is the lace length. That was probably just because they were tight on me, so I had to loosen it up a bunch, but I couldn't get like a decent size knot. I either had to undo that top lace hole and then get this kind of drape, which I actually don't mind, so I'm cool with this. But if you want a more standard lace knot, you're gonna have to tighten these up some, and for me that just wasn't an option. But my honest first impressions, these just came in today and these are fire. I mean, you need to see these in hand. All the pictures I've seen, they really don't do these justice. Like that toe box thing I said, I didn't even notice that in any of the pictures that I saw. And the crazy materials with that tactical mesh and these dope laces, overall this is definitely a keeper. That little bit of irritation here on the medial side is definitely a little bothersome, but it's not the end of the world. But just comparing it to the GT2160, the Gel NYC, the Nimbus 10.1, or the Venture 6 Shield, like all four of those are good to go, and just you don't have that tightness there. So that is a little bit disappointing, but I am happy that I picked these up. This is my first gel Kayano 20, and with it being a Kiko collab and all these elevated elements to it, it makes up for that discomfort right away. There's just a lot of positives that really outweigh that one negative. QC was not perfect. There are some noticeable glue stains around the satin areas of the mesh. It's not crazy bad, but it's definitely visible in some areas. I did have a little bit of trouble trying to style these. I think with shorts, it was a little bit difficult. Maybe that's just my own personal preference because I don't really buy mainly dark colored shoes. I found that only black socks really looked okay with it. Maybe somebody else could style it better. But in general, I think these are just gonna go a lot harder with pants, like a technical pant, windbreaker type situation. But overall, from panel to panel with the mixes of materials and colors, I think this shoe is overall a solid pickup for anybody. The red and the blue both look dope as well. I'm just partial to green, that's my favorite color, but those red ones were tempting also. I'm gonna get some more steps in these and see how that medial cage portion breaks in with that little bit of irritation. But overall, I think this shoe is super solid. Anybody looking to get it, if you're a narrow footer with you like a one-to-one fit, go true to size. If you want a little bit of room and possibly avoid that irritation, half size up. But on the note of the new change in aesthetic here, I definitely have a lot more spaces to fill, but I can't have unlimited shoes, and I just have some that I do want to get rid of. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show these on the channel, and I'm not trying to make any money off anybody. If anything, I'm trying to hook people up just to clear some space for new stuff, because it's just gonna be a never-ending cycle. But these, the Tomo Kogarashi GT2160s, I am trying to get rid of these. $100. I mean, you can check on StockX or GOAT, see if I'm tripping. Also, the Above the Clouds GT2160s and the Shamrock. Nothing's wrong with either one of these shoes. They're good condition. I'm kind of like fell out of love with this model, so I kind of just want to get them out of here. I may do a review. I might just do these both at once, but I do want to sell these. So $100, let me know. And then lastly, I did a review on these already, the New Balance 1000s. There's another colorway that I'd rather have in a lighter color, so I'm trying to get rid of these. $50, let me know, and just hit me up in the comments. These are all size 12. At the end of each of my videos, I'll let you guys know if anything's sold or not. I'm just out here trying to hook somebody up, and if you guys wouldn't mind liking, commenting, or subscribing, that's always greatly appreciated, trying to build the channel. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and remember, life's short, so buy the shoes.